learners! Yes, Bright Life Day with you! Let us discover the objects that can help our life easier and lighter to have a wonderful life every day. Let us discover, explore, and experiment together.
If you look around, you will see a straight line as high as a tree. You do not want to touch it, but you can see the sparks like a lightning in the sea. When there is light, there is heat. Like a twin in the middle of the night. If lightning hit a tree, fire will follow, both of them produce heat and light. If you look around, you will see a straight line as high as a tree. You do not want to touch it, but you can see the sparks like a lightning in the sea. Heat and electricity.
Our life became light or easier because of heat and electricity. Electricity and fire are useful, but not all the time. Always remember the precautionary measures before using it. Look around you and feel how blessed we are. It's me, Teacher Des. I am going to give and show your desire to learn. Delete and remove all your hesitation on this subject because in every lesson is really exciting. Come on, let us learn and discover new lesson because having knowledge is having power. These are the materials to be used in our experiment after the discussion. Small light bulb, 2 batteries, wires, electric tape, scotch tape, alligator clips, coins, key, paper, rubber, and some materials that can be seen at home.
Fire produces heat. Heat is a form of energy. It can use to perform work. It can warm things up, cool things down, generate electricity, and more. While electricity is a very useful form of energy, it can be used to perform work such as heating our food, lighting up our home, used for computer operation, motive power, entertainment applications.
Let me show you a story on how fire was discovered. This is the story of mankind, the events that shape the history and our present.
The family is contented and happy while eating fruits and food together. They heard a noise outside and flashing of lights. Their father goes outside and checks what's happening. He saw a tree hit by lightning. Then fire comes up. He doesn't know it. But the father is brave and decides to go further and check. He touches the fire and instantly screams as it hurts him. The rain is pouring and put out the fire. Early morning, the man is shaping up a stone for hunting. He saw dry leaves around catches fire and an animal that has different in color, smell, and texture like other food that he ate. He ate and it tastes good. He gave it to his family and all of them are really enjoyed. Man is intelligent too and thinks hard. He starts hitting the stones against each other and the leaves catch fire again. He was happy that he created fire. He made history to mankind by discovering fire from heat. Later on, he developed utensil used in cooking food. His discovery is very useful now.
Great story, right? How lucky we are because it is very convenient for us to cook nowadays. From the story you have watched, the tree was hit by... If your answer is lightning, you are right! The discovery of electricity and fire from lightning gave way for it to be thoroughly studied by our ancestors and scientists. With the discovery of fire, our ancestors learned that it's possible to cook with fire and the food tastes different when it's cooked. These are ways of cooking from the past. And these are ways of cooking now. Some utensils are made of woods, some are metal. What is the reason behind this? Today, we will learn about some materials that are good in conducting heat and electricity.
Objects made of wood, plastic, rubber, leather, silk, oil, glass, ceramics, and dry air do not carry any electricity or materials that do not easily transmit energy. It is called an insulator. Insulated materials are used to make kitchen utensils such as handles for saucepans to prevent heat from blowing up in order to not burn the hand of the cook. Plastic coating is also used to cover most electrical wires in appliances. Air is also a good insulator of heat. Wood, plastic, rubber, and glass are good insulators.
What do you think why electricians are wearing insulated rubber gloves? Electricians wear insulated rubber gloves that serve as a barrier against electric shocks.
On the other hand, things like copper or copper power cables are often used to conduct electricity properly and is called a conductor. Iron, gold, silver, brass, steel, copper, aluminum, nickel, and water are good sources of heat and electricity. Metals and stone are considered good conductors since they can speedily transfer heat, whereas materials like wood, paper, air, and cloth are poor conductors of heat. Then why we are using pot holder in handling hot pots and pans when cooking? Because pot holder is made of cloth that is poor conductor of heat and it's used to cover the hand when holding hot kitchen cooking equipment. Metals are materials that are strong electrical current and heat conductors. The highly conductive metals are silver, copper, and gold. Copper is highly conductive and commonly used in metal wiring. Brass, on the other hand, contains copper, but conductivity is reduced by other material in its form. Pure silver is the most conductive of all metals. What do you think on this? Can we use laptop or cell phone while charging during lightning? Your laptop or other electrical equipment should not be used because lightning will pass through electrical systems and zap something linked to an outlet. Do not attempt to unplug electronic devices during a storm since it also increases the risk of electrocution. The similarity between heat and electricity is that they both give light to our environment and help us to give our life easier. It is just like having electricity in our community. The formerly dark surroundings were given light. The household chores of our parents make it easier, just like using a washing machine without having to scrape our clothes with our hands. Having a television gives us entertainment and fun where we can watch our favorite movies, TV series, cartoons, and educational series. When it is hot, you do not need a fan if you have an electric fan or aircon. Every time our mother cooks delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner, cooking is so easier now compared before because they only use wood or charcoal. Wooden utensils were also used before. If you still have it in your home, it is antiques, vintage, or old-fashioned things today. We must take care of it, nurture it, cherish it because it is our wealth. To make our cooking faster and easier, we can use tools such as casserole, pots, and pans because they are made of metal, which helps to speed up its heating and soften the food.
Before we move on to our experiment, did you remember the materials that you prepared earlier? We need these materials for our experiment. Are you ready, young scientists? Let me remind you, please do not do the experiment at home without the guidance of parents or any other members of the family.
Prepare your pen and paper and answer the table. You only have 15 seconds. Write in the second column if the objects are conductors or insulators. Number 1, key. Number 2, rubber. Number 3, coin. Number 4, paper. And number 5, wire.
Now, I will present a video where you may discover objects that are good conductor of electricity and objects that are insulator which are not conducted by electricity. As you watch the video, fill in the third column again while doing the experiment.
Warning: do not do the experiment without your parents' guidance. How to do the activity? Conductor and insulator detector. First, prepare the materials. Second, connect the wires to the battery and light bulb to create a simple closed circuit. Third, attach the wires to the positive portion of the battery by clipping the alligator clip from one wire and other end to the metal contact of the lamp or bulb. Fourth, use electric tape or simply hold the clip in place to attach the alligator clip of a second wire to the bottom or negative side of the battery. Caution: be careful in holding the clip. Heat can be generated. Last, attaching the other end of the wire to the bulb's metal threaded cap. The bulb will light if your circuit is correctly closed and a complete path is created.
Now, complete the third column. Test each item to determine if it is made from a conductor or insulator. The test materials are key, rubber, coin, paper, and wire. Let's start by disconnecting one alligator clip from the lamp or bulb and attaching the clip to the test item. If the bulb lights, the test item is a conductor. Then if it does not light, the test item is an insulator. Are you ready, kids?
Let us test the key if it's a conductor or insulator. If your answer is conductor, you are correct. Next material is rubber band. Can you guess the answer? Great! The correct answer is insulator. The third testing item is coin. Is it insulator or conductor? If your answer is conductor, very good, you are right. Fourth material is paper. What do you think is the answer? Excellent! Insulator is the correct answer. Last testing item is wire. Can you guess the answer? Let us see if your answer is correct. If your answer is conductor, you are really great.
Well done, kids! Now, compare your answers from second and third column. Is it the same or not? It seems that you really understand the lesson very well. Give yourself a round of applause. To sum it up, what is the difference between conductors and insulators? Conductors are the materials or substances which allow electricity to flow through them, while insulators are materials that does not conduct electrical current. To prevent any disaster, we are constantly reminded of the proper use of heat and electricity. As a child like you, how can you help to save energy?
As a child, I can help to save electricity by limiting its use. For example, when I finish watching, I will remove the television plug. I will open the window. Instead of using electric fan or aircon, I will just hang my clothes on clothesline, and I will not use dryer and limit the use of mobile games.
Great answer! Now, children, let us enrich what you have understand through this activity. Get your pen and paper.
Write true if the statement is correct and false if not. Number 1. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Let's find out the correct answer. If your answer is true, you are right. Number 2. Metals, copper wire, water, iron, and gold are materials that do not easily transmit energy and called as insulators. The correct answer is false. Great. Number 3. Wood, paper, air, and cloth are poor conductors of heat. The correct answer is true. Excellent. Number 4. Wood, plastic, rubber, air, and glass are materials that are good conductors of electricity. If your answer is false, you are correct. Last number. Heat and electricity both give us light to our environment and help us to give our life easier. The correct answer is true. Very good, children. Who got the perfect score? If you got the perfect score, then give yourself a round of applause. And to make sure you have learned and listened our discussion, here is your assignment. Check out the items that provide heat and electricity in your home and environment. Write them in your science journal.
Before we finish, Teacher Des will leave a reminder.
If you are in contact with the ground, when you strike an isolated conducting or live wire, you can see an electric shock. An electric shock from a cable cab leads to extreme burns or even death. We should observe caution when using electrical materials in order to avoid these electrical hazards. Let us remember that electricity and fire are not allowed to play, and it's very dangerous. Its use requires the guidance of our parents.
Good job, young scientists! We are done! You all deserve a round of applause! Again, I am Teacher Des, your teacher in health. Until our next meeting, only here in SDO Nueva Ecija Science, wherein our lesson is having knowledge is having power. See you! Bye-bye!